Last year's summer was the hottest in 2,000 years. By analyzing tree rings, scientists determined that the summer of 2023 was the hottest summer in the Northern Hemisphere in the last 2,000 years. Researchers also indicate that temperature records may be broken again this year. They predict that this summer we will experience long and severe heat waves and prolonged periods of drought. Data on past temperatures are poor. Satellite data covers less than the last 50 years. In addition, there are records from weather stations dating back over 100 years. But they cover a small part of the planet. In total, the data collected by humanity allows us to go back to approximately 1850. But that doesn't mean we can't compare modern temperatures with those from the distant past. Trees come to the rescue. Every year, they register information in their structure about the conditions in their surroundings. The inscription of theses is also preserved in wood for hundreds or even thousands of years, in the form of the so-called rings. In a recent study published in the journal Nature, scientists from the University of Cambridge and the Johannes Gutenberg University in Mainz showed how special summer was last year. Looking back over long history, you can see how dramatic recent global warming has been. 2023 was an exceptionally hot year, and this trend will continue unless we radically reduce greenhouse gas emissions, said Ulf Buntgen from the University of Cambridge. The authors of the publication emphasized that even taking into account natural climate fluctuations over hundreds of years, 2023 was still the hottest summer since the heyday of the Roman Empire. The results also suggest that the conditions set out in the 2015 Paris Agreement, which limit warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius relative to the pre-industrial era, have already been violated in the Northern Hemisphere. Scientists in their study compared early temperature records from weather stations with data from a large collection of tree rings and found that the 19th century base temperature used to contextualize global warming is several tenths of a degree Celsius colder than previously thought. By recalibrating this reference point, they calculated that summer 2023 conditions in the Northern Hemisphere were 2.07 degrees Celsius warmer than average summer temperatures for the period 1850 to 1900. Much of the conversation we have about global warming is tied to the mid-19th century base temperature. But why is it a base temperature? What is normal in the context of an ever-changing climate when we only have 150 years of meteorological records? Only by looking at climate reconstructions will we be able to better account for natural variability and put recent anthropogenic climate changes into context, Buntgen said. Tree rings can provide this context because they contain annual information about temperatures. Using this data you can go back much further in time without the uncertainty associated with some early instrumental measurements. Tree ring data indicate that most of the colder periods of the past 2,000 years, such as the Little Ice Age in the 6th century and the Little Ice Age in the early 19th century, occurred after volcanic eruptions that spewed huge amounts of sulfur-rich aerosols into the atmosphere, causing rapid cooling. The coldest summer in the last 2,000 years occurred in 536 and followed one of these eruptions. It was nearly 4 degrees Celsius colder than the summer of 2023. Tree ring analyses also showed that most of the warmer periods can be attributed to the El Niño phenomenon, which affects weather around the world by weakening winds in the Pacific and often results in warmer summers in the Northern Hemisphere. Although El Niño events were first recorded by fishermen in the 17th century, they can be observed in tree rings much earlier. However, over the past 60 years, global warming caused by greenhouse gas emissions has increased the El Niño phenomenon, resulting in warmer summers. The current El Niño phenomenon is expected to continue into the early summer of 2024, suggesting temperature records will be broken again this summer. It is true that the climate is constantly changing, but the warming in 2023 caused by greenhouse gases will be further amplified by El Niño, which will result in longer and more severe heatwaves and prolonged periods of drought, said Professor Jan Esper from the Johannes Gutenberg University in Mainz, Germany, the lead author of the study. Looking at the bigger picture, we see how urgent it is to reduce greenhouse gas emissions immediately, he added. The researchers point out that while they obtained solid results for the Northern Hemisphere, it is difficult to obtain global averages for the same period because data for the Southern Hemisphere is sparse. The Southern Hemisphere also responds differently to climate change because it is much more covered by ocean than the Northern Hemisphere.